You guys, POCO's newest flagship is here. Let's take a look. Good day, you beautiful people. Welcome to LAZADA's Tech, where we do tech in your life in style. We have the POCO F4 GT, and this is POCO's newest flagship. Powered by a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, 120Hz refresh rate, 120-watt hypercharge. In this video, we're going to be unboxing the POCO F4 GT. We're going to take a look at what the big deal is, a quick camera tour, and some sample shots. Let's go. POCO F4 GT, and it's a 5G phone. SIM tool, paperwork, it's an audio dongle, and we have a jelly case. We have the phone, but let's see what else is in the box. That's a 120-watt charging brick, and the best part, it comes with a phone. USB-A to USB-C charging cord. This is pretty interesting. It sort of reminds me of a MacBook charging cord. And onto the phone. POCO F4 GT with a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chip, 120Hz AMOLED screen, magnetic pop-up triggers. Ooh, that's interesting. Dolby Atmos and 120 watts hypercharge for a 4,700 mAh battery. That was a lot. This is a pretty interesting looking phone. Definitely looks like a gaming device. That's a smooth back though. There's a lot of detail on this back. Such a serious looking thing. You have cameras on the back, and is that the flash? That looks cool. Okay, so this is pretty interesting to me because I've never seen this. There are magnetic gaming triggers. Did you see that? We'll look at that more later on, but you have one on both sides. You have a power button here. At the bottom, speakers, USB-C port. On this other side, that's a volume rocker and a mic. SIM tray is here. And yes, that is a dual SIM slot situation. And then up here, I'm thinking that's an IR blaster and speakers. Let's power this up and set it up. Particularly, I want to see the cool features like the magnetic triggers. I want to try that out. But in the meantime, as I'm doing this, you know what's coming? A montage. Are the magnetic triggers. Let me zoom in a little bit more and show you. So on both sides of the phone, you have these buttons that pop up when you toggle this switch. Now in theory, and I'm gonna say in theory because I haven't really used this, in theory, this seems like such a great idea. It's such a tiny, discreet, but effective way to level up gaming on a smartphone. It's not bulky at all, and unlocking the magnetic buttons feel very smooth. And honestly, these magnetic buttons just have a way more tactile feel. To add to the fun, you can add sounds. You can change the different lighting, and you can even customize and program what each button does. And of course, you can also do this in gaming. These buttons are such a fun little add-on, and honestly, if you're a gamer, I don't think you'd mind that it takes up the whole right side real estate of the phone. Here we go, folks, camera tour time, and yes, that is the fingerprint unlock on the side. Let's go to camera. So we have photo, we have wide, 1x up until 10x. And then back to 1x. Up top, flash settings, HDR settings, you have AI, you have your different filters, beauty modes. And yes, that is my emo robot talking to me. You have Google Lens. Under settings, you have size settings, timer settings, you have a movie frame mode, grid lines, a macro mode, tilt shift, and time burst. On the right, you have a portrait mode, and you can toggle the blur behind you. So as you can see, that's an aperture of 1. Everything behind me is blurred. And then 16. Here you have your different cinematic effects, just cool little filters that you can use with your portrait mode. And then under settings, you have size, timer, movie frame mode as well. Under more, you have a night mode, and this can go wide, 1x, 2x, up until 10x, you have a 64 megapixel mode. We have a short video mode, which is basically MIUI solution to Androids not being optimized on social media. This mode allows you to shoot short 15-second clips and from there share straight to your different social media apps, which should show up here once you've signed them in. Now, you also have different features here. You can do wide, 1x up until 6x. You have super slow-mo up until super fast mode. You can also add background music to everything, and then you also have different filters here, beautify mode and a kaleidoscope mode, which is always fun. Up here it shows you that you can shoot 720p or 1080p. You also have a panorama mode, document scanner, always useful. You have the vlog mode, which basically allows you to do more cinematic vlogs like that with these templates. You have a slow motion mode, you have a time-lapse mode, and you can do wide, 1x, 2x, up until 6x on time-lapse. You have movie effects, which give you all those really cute like cinematic effects. Again, we've seen this all before on other Xiaomi phones. You have a long exposure mode, and then you have all the different like filters that go with that mode. You have dual video, which uses like both front and back cameras, and you can like switch them around. And then you have the clone mode, which basically clones you in photos and videos, which it's a fun little thing. And again, I've tried this in other MIUI devices, but let me know if you want me to test out these fun features in a social media test. And we are done with this menu, so let's move on to the other side. You have video, and you can do wide, 1x, 2x, up until 6x, back to 1x. You have flash settings. You have a super steady mode. You have different movie filters. You have your beautify mode and a bokeh mode on video, as you can see here. And you can shoot up until 4K 60 FPS and a movie frame mode. And then you have the pro mode, which basically allows you video or photos and switching around all the different settings. On video, we go to selfie. There are different movie filters on selfie video. Can you zoom in or out? No, you cannot. You have a beautify mode and you have bokeh, so look behind me, look at that blur. And then you can shoot up until 1080p 60 FPS up front, and there's also a beautify mode. On photo, can you zoom in or out? No, you cannot. You have your beautify filters, which, as you can see, since this is a selfie camera, it's more detailed. And then you have even more filters, HDR, flash settings, and size, timer, palm shutter, of course, and then the movie frame mode. And then portrait selfie, you have your bokeh settings, you have your beautify filters, other filters, and then you have your different cinematic effects. And then up here you have size, timer, movie frame mode, palm shutter, and then we're back to more. Now let's see some sample shots. And that was our look at the POCO F4 GT. This is looking like a promising device, and I'd expect no less from POCO's flagship. They are, after all, the brand that once upon a time built a name on making devices that are flagship killers. Of course, it's just our first look, so let me know if you want to see a camera vlog test or a social media test or even a full review. Comment down below. That's it for today. If you want to see how I use my tech on a daily basis, find me online. That's LAZADA_ on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Until next time!